All right, and I hear
Can you
myself
hear?
twice, but whatever.
Can you
We're,
hear
we're gonna
me?
make this. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So whatever. This looks awkward, but we're gonna make it work.
Sweet.
Cool. We've got about 17 people in so far. More coming, and I want to be super sensitive to your time. So we'll jump into it. So thanks for doing this.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
So real quick, just for those of you that don't know me, I'm a mortgage lender in California. I'm adventure lender online and kind of embraced my personal brand a few years ago. And I saw Matt's videos recently, and they were just blew me away because I think he's saying what needs to be said in a very fun way, but providing great education at the same time. And so it's just kind of took what I believe should be done to a whole nother level. So Matt, how long have you been in real estate?
So just almost 4 years now. So not
Okay.
too long, but yeah.
And when you started, like, when did you decide how you wanted to approach it?
So I started on Teams actually. So I wasn't able to express myself and brand how I wanted, because you have to kind of follow their guidelines. So then once I left the team, I always wanted to just do stuff kind of like this, more fun. I'm just kind of an idiot, so I like to have fun with everything, show my personality. So as soon as I left the team, I had a bunch of ideas that I want to do, and some of them are they're a little weird. So I knew it was either going to be like I had to go all in with it, or you couldn't go halfway with this. So I went all in, and it seemed to working so far. So
and that's the question. I showed one of your videos to a friend of mine, and he was like, man, he's going to offend a lot of people. I'm like,
yeah.
Who cares? Like, I think that's kind of the point is
Yeah.
people who are attracted and have a sense of humor are going to want to work with you more. And the people who probably wouldn't have been good fit anyways will shy away.
Exactly. And that's what I say. You attract like-minded people with this kind of stuff. So I've had a bunch of, like, I'm just trying to be real with it all. I just think it's so oversaturated right now with like kind of fake, just everything is really fake, at least around me. I don't know how it is in other places, but around me, a lot of people are so fake. Like, they'll be listing a house and they'll have their video like, oh, look at, welcome to this beautiful house. And like, you're looking at the house with them. It's like the shittiest house ever. So I'm not sure why they're saying it's beautiful. Everyone can see how shit the house is, right? So, I mean, just tell it as it is, right? That's all I'm trying to do. So, yeah, I mean, I have a bit of hate, but I thought I was going to have more hate from realtors, but they've actually been super cool about it all, and they seem to really like it. So, yeah.
Well, I think a lot of what you say is there's self-deprecation, like you make fun of yourself. And then you're making fun of realtors on both sides, the new ones, the old ones. That I love when you did that video where you're like, oh, I'm not giving out participation trophies for how long you've been in business. Like, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And we hear that all the time. And like me as a lender, I hear the same thing. I've worked in this area for 30 years, and it's just like, okay, great. That doesn't matter anymore. And so you're saying what everyone's thinking, and we all want to laugh at ourselves at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that. And one of the things I want everyone who's here to understand is, by no means I think that you should try and do what Matt's doing, because you're not Matt. So if you can't try to be funny if it doesn't work for you. My goal here is to help people kind of hear how someone's taken such an aggressive kind of aggressive approach is the best way for me to put it, and find your own voice. Because when I reached out to Matt to do this, what I realized was we already are our personal brand. And like Matt said, we fake it. Like, you get into real estate, you buy the suits and the car and the watch and the this and that. And that's not what it is anymore, at least, I don't think. So it's like, just being you is the most authentic thing you can do. And that's what people want. So I invited someone to this call, and he's like, I don't know if I could, go that route. And I'm like, I don't think you should, because that's not you. So
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I have a lot of people now be like, Matt, I want to do video and stuff, but I'm not funny. And I always just say, well, you don't have to be funny. You just have to be yourself. And like more people care about your story than you realize. So tell your story, tell things you're interested in. You're going to attract those type of people. So if you like, I always say, like, if you like horseback riding, talk about it. And, you know, there's other people out there who like that stuff. And you're going to attract them. And then all I'm trying to do with these videos is start a conversation. You're not going to get a sale right away. You just want to start a conversation. Then once you have that conversation open, it's up to you to figure it out from there. But you don't have to, everything doesn't have to start about real estate. And I realized that. And now, you know, I'll just get a message. Oh, Matt, I love your videos. They're hilarious. Oh, thanks. Now a conversation's open. So now from there, we can go anywhere. And I'm like so not salesy either. Like we'll chat for like 20 minutes about their dog because I love dogs. So I'm into that. But you know, and then you know the real estate stuff comes down the road, and that's just kind of how I've approached it. And now the social media is starting to be a really great lead source for me.
yeah. So how is that working out?
It's good. So I started doing these fun videos last summer, and yeah, a ton of like I couldn't believe how many people have reached out, and just like because I guess I'm just staying top of mind, even though I'm not talking about market updates. Like I just feel like they can get that anywhere now. It's all over the news. You can Google search it, and when people want to talk more in depth about things, we'll email and call and stuff. But Instagram, social media to me is just, it's a big commercial. So, I mean, I'm just trying to promote myself how I would want a service to promote themselves that I'm using. So I just like the fun approach, and it's been going really well. The amount of leads I'm getting now are pretty cool. And it's also cool because I make fun of my clients a lot. So people were like, oh, like you shouldn't do that. And I mean, it's fun. And I have a lot of clients who know when I make fun of them, they know, and they message me after and they're like, oh, that was us. That's hilarious. And that's that.
Yeah. What do you do? I mean, that's what it is. And like, there's things I've wanted to do. I just don't have the guts to do what you're doing. And it wouldn't be me. Right. So it's, you got to do your own thing. Was there a moment where you like had this epiphany where you're like, because I saw a deeper, I binge watched your videos on your Instagram, and you were doing the market updates and this and that, and then it went funny. Was there just a moment where you're like, I'm going to do this?
Yeah. So I did, the first one I really did was I call it the shut the front door video. And it was a listing video, and it was a really shit house that I was listing. And I just needed to market it. And I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And it's like the worst quality video too. I just had my fiance film it. There's no like mic or anything. And I just kind of did the listing video, and I kept almost swearing in it, but I didn't. So I'd be like, hey, welcome to the house. If you don't like it, you can and then I'd cut it and be like front door. And then I'd be at the front door, and I kept going on like that. And then that house sold in like 8 or 9 hours later, like once I posted the video. And actually 2 calls came right from the video on Instagram. And both those calls, they had agents, but they both offered on the property. So I sold that property with 3 offers in like 8 or 9 hours over asking. And it was a shitty place. And I thought I was going to be on the market for a while. So then when that happened, I was like, oh, that's sick. Because I wanted to start doing that stuff anyways. And then that video got picked up by a meme page, actually agents. And then it kind of went from there. And then I just had a bunch of ideas, and this is how I've always kind of wanted to do things. So yeah, once that happened, I was like, all right, I'm going to just move on with this.
That's rad. I love that.
Yeah.
So it was almost accidental. It was, oh my gosh, I just cussed. I need to cut back on that. And it was like, wait, and then the joke, and then it worked so well that you're just like, I've got a lot of ideas. I can just run with this and keep going.
Yeah. Well, since I started real estate, I had like some of these ideas have been from when I started. I just didn't know you could do it. people just told me, oh, I would tell people, and they'd be like, no, that's like, people aren't going to take you seriously. And then I was like, oh shit, I guess I can't do it. And then I just went for it, and now I'm like dropping F-bombs in the videos and stuff, and just like, I don't know, that's just how I am though. Like if you talk to me, or if you're friends with me, you know just exactly how I am.
Well, I like that you said earlier that it's fake, and I think a lot of not just real estate, everything is fake now. I think a lot of it's Instagram makes it that way. So the more authentic we can be, the better. The more people we're going to attract that want to work with us. Like I'm working out of a Sprinter van right now that I converted to an office because I love the van life thing. And I can go park at the beach, get leads, people walk up and ask questions. It works great. And I never would have thought it would work, but I had to try. So it kind of became my brand. I like being at the ocean. I like climbing, doing all that. So I just went all in on it. So if you're looking for a guy that wants to go hit 18 holes, if that's what you call it, I'm not your guy. So that's okay.
That's
so as far as each video, so what I love about the videos that you'll do with just the cell phone conversation, which is so relatable to buyers, realtors, lenders, everybody can relate to those. Those are, do you have like a team that's recording these, or are you doing it on your own, or does it depend on the scale of the video?
Yeah, it depends. So though all the call videos, just iPhone tripod. I have it 4K setting on the iPhone. I have a couple mics. I have a lav mic and a shotgun mic, and that's it. I edit them myself in Final Cut Pro. The more involved ones, like I did one where I dressed up like Freddie Mercury, and my Backstreet Boys one, I hire a team for that.
And those are great.
Now, yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, the Freddie one, people seem to like. I almost didn't post that Freddie Mercury one. I thought it was like too stupid, but whatever. I just went for it. But now, like right now, the team's not working, so all the videos I'm doing right now, because of the pandemic, I'm just shooting myself. My fiance is my camera person.
And so for the Ramones video, you just filmed yourself 3 separate times and then spliced it together in Final Cut.
Yeah, exactly. So I was actually going to do a different video outside, but it was like pouring rain. I was like, damn. The closing was yesterday, so I needed it. And then I just learned how to do that yesterday on Final Cut Pro. And then I just filmed myself in my kitchen and did it.
That was awesome. I love that. And what's with the music? You're just at 80s rock kid at heart?
Yeah. So before this, I was a touring musician.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I have a little home studio. So I record all the songs myself. And now I wouldn't call it singing, but I somewhat hit the notes here. So I just love 80s rock and whatever. I mean, anything I just think's funny, I try and do something with. And most of it is like, for the music stuff, it starts more with like an outfit. If I can get like a sick outfit to wear, then I'll like do a whole skit around it.
From there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sorry, someone had a question I was gonna. So one thing I want to touch on, because when you get into the editing and Final Cut and 4K and all the gear, like tech heads, they fall off, and it's like, oh, I can't do this. We create excuses for ourselves. Yeah. Oh, I can't do it because I don't understand what Final Cut is. I don't know what a boom mic is or a lav mic. And none of that stuff's necessary. So I don't want anybody to get deterred by like Matt's level of knowledge in video and music production. That's why it works for him. But this thing's really all you need. Yeah. And you can do your own thing. You just have to. For
sure. And I had no clue. I had no clue how to do any of that until I started doing this. Like I started on iMovie, which comes with your Mac if you have a Mac. So that's a good start. And I just switched over to Final Cut Pro like a month or two ago as the videos started getting more involved. But yeah, you really don't need anything. The mic is good on the iPhone. The quality is good. You can just go from there. But just find something that's, like you said, yourself. So what I always say now is like, go look at what agents are doing 90% of what 90% of what agents are doing, and don't do that because everyone's doing that. So like, to me, I just think like when you sell a house, the picture of the house with the big red sold sticker across it is like, that doesn't do anything anymore. It's not, to me, it's not effective. And it just, I can't even tell 90% of agents, I can't even tell their pages apart anymore. So just try and shake it up. And like, social media is a great tool to be using. I mean, there's a lot of people who do great stuff without video and social media, but if you are looking for something to add to your business, I think social media is a great tool and you can reach a ton of people.
And so marketing wise, so when you have a new listing or you're looking for more buyers, where are you spending your marketing dollars?
Yeah, so a lot of mine is organic reach right now, but I do like a lot of Instagram ads. So I spend most of it on my listings though, just to push the house out more. But I'm just, I always try and learn about like the algorithm and how I can get more engagement and push out the content to more people. But yeah, I'm spending most of my marketing, like I don't do any print ads anymore, nothing like that. It's all the marketing money I do spend is on social media, either Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. And I usually just do it on listings. And then
Okay.
if I have a buyer, like I did one where it was a call video, and the person on the phone, who's just my fiance, and all the girl on the phone's my fiance, she's asking like, why should we use you? And I start quoting Eminem. I don't know if you saw that one.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
Lose Yourself by Eminem. So I pushed that one out and spent some money on that, marketing it, and it did well, because especially for like, it's just like my demo too. So I'm attracting a lot of people who are just my age. I work with a lot of first time home buyers. So it seems to work.
And so I want to dive into the Instagram, Facebook, YouTube ads, because that's where I think money goes the farthest. Like YouTube ads, I get 2 to 3 cents per view, and then clicks can vary depending on the success of the video. But with Shelter in Place, I just did this with, I don't know if she's on right now, but one of the agents I work with, she listed her own home right before we went into stay at home. And she's like, what do I do? And a friend of mine has the GoPro Max 360 camera. And he's doing virtual tours. And what I liked about it over Matterport is just a zoomable 360 photo, still image. But with the 360 VR tour that he was doing, you have a human being as a frame of reference for the room size. And he's walking him through it as if they're in the house. And that's what I thought was really compelling. So I ran out, bought the camera. We shot it at her house Friday. She wasn't excited about being on video, so I pretended to be a realtor for the first time. So I was super nervous. I don't know how to like talk about shades and floors, and that's just not what I do. But I wasn't going to let that stop me from trying this concept. And I ran a video. I just started running the ad on YouTube today, very specific to the San Francisco Bay Area. And it's got over 1,500 views. I think I've spent $30. And I just think your dollars go so much further there. So that's where if I could you put a postcard in the mailbox for $1, and I could stretch that 30x somewhere else.
Totally. And that, more likely than not, now that postcard's going right into the garbage. So, because I live in a condo, and I was doing like direct mail ads here, and all my mail was just in the garbage, like in the lobby there. I was like, shit, that doesn't work. So, YouTube, I'm just starting to, like, everyone was saying I should put all my videos on YouTube, so I've just kind of started doing that now. But yeah, I've already done a couple ads, and the money you spend there is way better, because the direct mail and stuff, that stuff gets pricey too, for not a great return at all.
Yeah, I was actually at the dump one time, and there's a realtor that's a good friend of mine. His flyers were everywhere. Like I took a photo of it, I deleted it, but the entire dump was his 8x12 giant, super expensive flyers. And I was like, just looking around the ground, I was like, I wonder if there's a better way to spend this money. So
That's
no,
awesome
it's
though.
good.
And the funny thing about that is if you had to take that picture and sent it to him, he could have marketed that picture online and it probably would have done so well.
Right. Right. That's what I thought about. And then it just went away. But but would he be willing to like laugh at himself? You know, I think that's what you're so great at is like the choose your realtor video when it got to you and it was like the asshole or whatever.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Yeah.
but it's what it is.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's people want to, you can't put on an act. People are going to see right through that. So you just got to be yourself. Like a lot of the times I'm talking, like, I don't know what I'm talking about in real estate too. Like, and like, it just takes, I think people look too far into it and they feel like, oh, well, if I do that, people are going to think this. If I do this, people are going to think that. You can't think about what everyone's going to think about everything you're doing. So, I just do whatever I want now. And I just keep trying to I like trying to stay on that line of like, was that, should he be doing that? Should he not be doing that? Like, I like to be right there. And I don't think if agents get offended or, I don't think I say anything offensive other than like swearing, but I don't think swearing's offensive, but, some people do, and that's fine, but I don't ever say anything that, I think is actually offensive to someone. So, and who knows, but I don't think I do.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sure that people who take themselves very seriously on the video where you were talking about, I have some questions, and she's like, will you do it for 1%? You're like, not a fucking chance. And it's like,
Yeah.
so many people ask for discounts. And I think the real estate community appreciates that portion of that video, right? But it's funny because it's true. And everybody would love to say what you said. They're all thinking it. They just don't say it. And so some people might be like, oh, I asked for a discount and he's super offensive. Can't believe you'd say that. Then great. We're not a good fit anyways.
Yeah. You can't please you're never going to please everyone with whatever you're doing. So if the only thing that's stopping you from like doing an idea is what people are going to think, then I would say just go for it. Because there's always, I have people saying like, I'm just, I'm ruining the real estate profession and I'm like super unprofessional. And like that, I love that shit's hilarious. Like to even think that I'm like, just me is ruining the entire profession is hilarious. But, I hate to break it to them, but it was like, some of the, a lot of the realtors around me are like super, like they have bad reputations, and those are the people who are reaching out to me and saying I'm unprofessional and this and that. But it depends what you think, what's professional, what's unprofessional in your eyes.
And how many realtors do you have as clients, right? It's like, I don't really care what you think. Like you might be on the other side of a transaction at some point, but I'm not trying to earn your business. Yeah. And I think people have that reaction because they feel threatened. I think a lot of people are struggling to try new things. And I like what you said. I have an idea that worked really well. I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it. And I think the more ideas you try, the more ideas you create.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said before, though, like the response I have had from agents has been amazing. Like I really, really grateful for all the responses and the comments and personal messages. They're really supportive of what I'm doing, most of them. And I actually don't get as much hate as a lot of people would think, because a lot of people just think I get hate every day, which is not the case. Of course I get it, but not to a crazy extent. So that's pretty cool. And another thing for like video or just social media in general, I think people need to it's all about trial and error to me. So you're going to see you have to be confident enough to put something out that may not work and then grow from that. So you can put out like a tips and tricks video. If that, maybe it doesn't do as well as you thought, okay, back to the drawing board. Why didn't that connect? And then you can kind of dissect it and go from there. And it's trial and error until you find a couple things that work. And then you just grow on those things that work.
And so for the people that are like, well, I don't have an idea. Like Matt's super creative. I don't have that. At least I don't yet, because I haven't tried. What about just taking, like, I think the media gives us a lot of content every single day because they're wrong about so many things. So is that a good place to start where just, oh, this article came out, it's completely wrong? To me, it's like you can use that as ammunition, I guess, and become, at least show people with confidence that you're an expert on something. You don't have to be funny, but at least it shows, here's why this is wrong, and here's why you could miss out, and it builds confidence or something like that.
Totally. That's exactly that. And like, there's a ton of super analytical people. I'm not one of those people, but you can get super down with like all the numbers and everything about a certain subject. And some people will love that. It's just about finding that crowd. Like those analytical people who are like all just want market updates, and they're not following me. They're not using me as a realtor. So, there's enough to go around for everyone. So you just have to find your space, and just be whatever message you want to get across. Just do that on the camera, because people, a lot of people, especially now, it's harder and harder to actually meet someone in person. So to be able to be genuine and yourself on camera, people feel like they know you, and then once they feel like they know you, they're going to be a little more confident to actually go and meet you in person, and then start that relationship and be a client. So, yeah.
Yeah, right on. So while we're talking, if anybody has questions, just put them in the comment box, and I'll start rattling them off as we go. Yvonne, I will send everyone that 360 video after we get done today. I'll shoot it out to everybody so they can see it. And it was, like I said, it was super nervous. I tried it. I became a realtor for 57 minutes, and I don't want to be a realtor. I want to be a lender.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I don't want to be a realtor either.
Right on. So,
no.
with like Instagram being a big, it's widespread. It's global. So I think some people get stuck on that where all these people are following me, but they're not in my neighborhood. Have you found that your following is more? I would imagine yours is everywhere because it's so real estate focused that realtors and lenders are following you a lot as well.
Yeah. So I have a lot of realtors and lenders, like you said, all around the world, like quite a bit in like Australia and stuff, which is cool. I've actually done a couple collabs with other really funny real estate agents in Australia. But it's not really about that, because the more followers you have, the more engagement you'll get, and the more engagement you get, the more your posts get pushed out. So, if I have a bunch of comments from realtors, because sometimes the videos are just pretty much jokes for that only really people in the space are going to really understand. But it still pushes it out to other people who are following you. And yeah, like I wouldn't say, I'd say it's more like all around. It's not just in my neighborhood, but it pushes it out, and I get a lot of people kind of reaching out, or a friend of a friend will send my thing to them, and they'll be like, oh, like my friend sent me your real estate video, you must be doing well or whatever. So it just goes like that. It's a bit of a snowball effect, I guess. Yeah.
So it's not even like these are all, I guess what I'm hearing from you is I just don't care. Like I'm going to put stuff out there. If I have an idea, I'm going to run with it. And I don't care if people see it all over the world. Things will come together the way they're supposed to. It is like you just.
Oh, I love that people see it all over the world. I love it. I think it's so cool that social media we can do that now. Like I'm like friends with people in Australia now. I've done podcasts in Australia. Like it's so awesome. Like that these kind of dumb videos are reaching a global audience, to me is I'm super grateful for that. It's really cool. And yeah, and then the business just I don't know, right now it's just kind of people are reaching out, and it's coming because they like kind of my personality, and they can relate to it. I'm not, I guess, intimidating to them, and they feel like they can just reach out to me. And I've had that too, like, hey Matt, you just seem genuine, we feel like we can talk to you. And like I said, that's all you want. You just want a conversation.
And I think I came up with this little cheesy slogan where it's like, be more than a realtor, be relatable, because all the data's online, right? Anybody can see what homes sold for. Everything's become available. We can pull comps to see what a property, what the rough sales price will be. I'm not necessarily selling a home to a buyer. If they want to buy it, I'm going to help negotiate. I think realtors negotiate more than anything else, but you have to drive the attention, either driving attention to yourself for buyers or driving attention to your listings. I don't think it's as much sales. So I think the sooner we get away from I'm in sales and just more to like, I am who I am, the people who reach out are the people that want to work with you. Mm-hmm. And the sooner you show people who you are, not a salesperson, but this is Matt, this is Sean, the sooner people that want to work with you will reach out, and the people that don't won't call, and you'll just never know about it.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like I said, they're going to find someone else. Everyone has a person they want to work with. And yeah, I mean, I just don't really, I found I always kind of, if you care too much about something, it's just going to be, not care too much, but if you just think too much about something, you just never start anything. So yeah, just I just do whatever I want, to be honest. I mean, I've had a couple agents say they're going to write me up and all that stuff. I haven't received anything yet, so I don't know if that's still happening or what's going on. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. If people think it's bad, then just don't follow the page, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you're not, none of it is not compliant, right? Like, you're not crossing any lines there. So what are you going to report me for? Cussing or offending you?
Yeah.
There's not really anything there.
And the call videos aren't even really technically like an ad.
Right.
So they're just kind of skits. So I guess, some people see some of my listing videos. I've had some, oh, that's so cringy and unprofessional. And I mean, I just did one like a month ago, and the agent was like, it's so cringy, so unprofessional. Like, this is ridiculous. And it sold in like 12 hours. And I was like, it's sick, because he had one that hadn't sold. And I was like, oh yeah, it's super unprofessional. That was so unprofessional of me to sell the house in 12 hours. But I don't know. It's just fun. I'm just doing, like I said, I'm just having fun. And like, I do things that I think are funny, and my fiance doesn't think is funny, but yeah, have fun with it.
Well, and I think that's what I love about what we do for a living, is we can have fun. So it doesn't have to be like, a lot of people go to work and they hate their jobs and it's miserable. We get to have fun if we want to. It's a choice. And mm-hmm. So I think that's such a good way to put it. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Roxanne, so I'm going to send out links to his YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, as a wrap up to this call. So you can see his videos on all three of those places. Follow in all three spots so you don't miss them, because that's the other thing. They're great. They're 1 minute long. You can't really miss. They're really good. Yeah.
I try and make them all, a minute, maybe a little bit longer, but just myself, like, I have a short attention span. So I just want in and out when I'm watching something. So that's how I kind of do my videos. And it's kind of a fun challenge to try and fit everything in. So.
Right on.
Yeah, man.
So Yvonne said, obviously your clients know who you are and how you work. If you are selling or finding properties for them, it's all good. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said before, the social media is a commercial. It doesn't mean I'm going to be like go to a showing dressed up as Freddie Mercury or Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. I mean, I will. I mean, if they want me to, that nothing's, I have no problem with it, but I'm not always just an idiot. I just like doing that stuff. And like growing up and when I watch commercials, I gravitate towards the ones that are funny. And that's kind of who I would, that's the product I want to buy is from the commercial that was funny to me. And like we've been saying this whole time, you just have to find your lane. And if don't just try and be funny if you're not really funny. But then again, I don't really know.
It's got to be what you like.
Yeah, whatever you like. And just show your person. Everyone has a personality. And if you're in the real estate business, you should have a good personality because that's what you're doing. You're talking to people all day. So I'm sure you have a good personality to, find the traits that are gonna like speak on camera. And so if you're super bubbly and stuff, that's fun. Like people still like that. It doesn't have to be funny, but it's just energetic and people just, gravitate towards that energy. So just, use your personality. It's the best thing to do.
And that's what some people have said is, like I would always describe what you're doing is like compared to the Super Bowl, right? So people spend $5 million for a 30-second, 1-minute spot at the sporting event, and no one's running out to go buy the Hyundai they just saw. The idea is it leaves a lasting impression. Like I have 30 seconds to make my point really well and be remembered. And that's what I feel like you're doing a good job of. People start talking about it the next day. Or with my wife, I'm like, you got to watch this guy's videos. That's the goal. And so for me, like, I like documentary style films a lot. Like Yeti Coolers makes these great little short films. And so when I think of videos to make, I'm like, I want to do this. I want to do that. It kind of fits the whole outdoor thing I love. Like surf films are like that. And so it's just finding whatever you like and running with it.
Yeah, totally. That's so cool. Like, I love your whole vibe, you're like a surfer dude. I'm in Canada. It's like 10 months a year. It's freezing cold. So,
But yeah, so it works where we are. It's like 90 degrees today and I'm at a park because it was too hot to be anywhere else. So I found a shady spot. So question from Aaron. Matt, how do you get your broker to allow you to build your brand under their old school umbrella?
Yes. So like, that was one thing. So I started with Keller Williams, which was great, no problem. But then the brokers at my new brokerage, which is Century 21, they kind of reached out and wanted to meet with me, and I knew I had to have someone who was going to kind of just leave me alone in the marketing because I don't use any of their branding. I don't do anything. Even my signs are completely my own. So I wanted someone who would just totally let me be me, and they were 100% willing to do that, and they support it 100%. And it wasn't even really a conversation. They knew what I was about when they reached out. And I haven't really asked if I know my brokers. We have like young brokers, and they love it, but I don't really know. I don't really ask for permission before I do videos or anything like that. I just go for it, and then if they don't like it, well, it's up there now. but
forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah, they're super cool. They're super cool with everything I do. I know a lot of because I was kind of shopping around at different brokerages at one point, and just nothing was. It was too in their lane, and I had to have something that I could just kind of do whatever I wanted to do. So I've been really, really appreciative of them and everyone there. So
nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, if no one else has questions, we can start to wrap up. I really appreciate you doing this, man. This has been fun. It's been fun to catch up.
Thanks for having me. This is so cool. And I love I want to buy like a van now. I'm going to totally just start doing next time you call, I'm going to have my own van.
Perfect. Yeah, it's been good for the whole shelter in place thing because I got 3 kids, so I just go sit in the driveway and work from here and do my calls and everything. So
So
um,
cool.
let's see, I've got another question here. What are some things you think are important to make videos on?
Um, well, I don't do anything that's like um, of actual. Someone asked me the other day. They're like, "Do you do like videos on, actual things on the market or any serious information?" I'm like, no, I don't. Maybe I probably should, but I don't. But whatever is you think is going to be helpful. What I always say to people is the question, like, put yourself in the buyer or the seller's shoes and ask the questions you would want to know. So like answer the questions you would want to know. So and just kind of go from there, right? I just write all my ideas in like my notes on my iPhone. Start writing some ideas as you're seeing stuff on the news. There's a lot of stuff you can talk about right now with the pandemic, which I've been trying to stay away from because I like to, I'm trying to, you see the corona stuff everywhere. I'm trying to make my page kind of like a breath of fresh air where people can just kind of watch the videos and not think about that. But there's a lot of things that are specific to your area. And yeah, just kind of try and think of things that you would want to know. And that's how I think you can come up with some really, really great video for the more informative stuff. And then if you want to do something a little more creative, go for it. Write it down, storyboard it, like write out your scenes of how you're going to do something and just go for it. Film it. If you're not comfortable about posting it yet, send it to some friends, some family, see what they think, and then go from there.
Yeah, one of the things I did is I get the same question. So I work with a lot of first-time buyers, and they keep asking the same questions, right? And so you're repeating yourself. It's like this many people are asking that question. I'm going to put a video on YouTube. So what I'm trying to do with YouTube more than Instagram is build like a library of information. I think there's a lot of bad information on the internet about mortgages. So it's like, look, here's the real deal. These are questions I get all the time. So Aaron, I think that's a good place to start because it'll get you comfortable with creating content and just being yourself. And the more you do that, then you'll be like, oh, I got this fun idea. And it just starts to develop more.
Yeah, totally. And you can make things like a little more light too. Like you can make a market update a little lighter than just, taking the picture your brokerage gives you every month and putting out the stats. Like there's a way to make it a little more because to be honest, and I've talked to a lot of my clients, they don't know what that means. Those stat sheets and stuff, the average person doesn't know what that is. When they see properties are up 6%, that doesn't mean anything to them.
Right.
So
right.
if you can explain it better, then if there's 10 realtors and you're actually explaining it with a video. The other 9 are just putting their brokerage stats. I mean, I would feel people are going to pick you every time.
Yeah, it's human, and that's actually a good way to put it. I feel like some people think that because I understand all of these stats and data points that you don't, I'm the professional and you need me for that reason, where that may be true, but I think it goes 10 times further if you can take that, dumb it down to like a human element and make it simple to understand.
Yeah, exactly. And you build trust that way too.
Cool. I got a question. So let's see. Curious about Instagram videos through IG TV versus YouTube and whether you go portrait or landscape. Do you have an opinion on which way to go?
No, I've done for specifically IGTV, I've done both because I've been kind of playing with that as well. I know Gary V does a lot of portrait in IGTV, and I've done a couple like that. The reasoning behind it is apparently it takes up more of your screen and people are more inclined to watch till the end. I haven't found, I don't do a lot of IGTVs because like you said, I try and keep mine at a minute, but I like to I normally like to do landscape. But I did a landscape and I did a portrait, and I didn't find any real difference in reach or engagement or anything like that. YouTube, I would say landscape every time, in my opinion. But
Yeah, I would say the same thing. So with IGTV now, I just noticed this where you can put a landscape video in, but there's a little square and you can click that, it'll turn true landscape to take up your full screen. So if I had to pick one, I would do landscape every single time, because you can take that same video and put it in multiple places instead of having to record it one way here and another way there. Just create one time and be done.
yeah, yeah. And there's nothing worse if you film in portrait. There's nothing worse than those, like the big black blank space, because it just kind of looks unpolished. So especially when you're going on YouTube and stuff, to fill that whole screen is nice, and it looks, I don't know if I should be talking about looking professional, but it looks nicer.
Well, it's different. It's quality, right? And it's what we're used to. Like I'm looking at a laptop right now, and it's full screen. I'm not looking at a little centerpiece of myself.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Cool. Anyone else before we jump off?
People can also.
All right, man. Well, Matt, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we'll catch up soon, and I look forward to the next video, dude.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. It was really cool. I'm happy we did this. We'll do another, I'm sure. And
yeah, for sure.
We'll be in touch. And I got some pretty cool video ideas coming. So
nice.
Excited for you to see. Yeah.
Right on.
Awesome.
All right, thanks everyone so much for having me. Anything, let me know, and then I'll send out a bunch of links after this to Matt's Instagram, all the social media stuff.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for coming as well.
Thanks again.
See you guys.
Bye.